tonight. Oh, okay. As well as Brother Harlan Bell, Brother Darren Staggers, Brother Eric Shaw, Brother Kyle Collins, and possibly Brother Orlando Field. Again, welcome to the Men Locker Room Thursday night. We are just glad to be back for another Thursday night of dialogue, monologue, laughter, just enjoying the energy of the room. Um, and before we do any of that, we always want to give honor to our Heavenly Father. So I will pray us in for tonight. Heavenly Father, we come tonight with open hearts. We come tonight also knowing as we go through this planetary experience, we see a lot, we hear a lot, we see some things that are not so favorable. Father, you said that we will need you in this life journey. It is very evident every day, day in, day out, just to feel the hurt, the pain that we see on both sides, all around. So, Father, we come tonight. We come to the healer. We come to the one. We come to the creator to strengthen us, to guide us. And for a few minutes, or even a few hours, just to connect with you, Father, so that we can use your energy to move your kingdom forward in the decaying world. So these and other blessings we ask in our Son Jesus' name. Amen. Amen.
Amen.
And welcome again, everyone. We were just talking before we come on. Um, and a lot of things that we see is very painful. Um, and I think the one thing to know is if I can see these things and don't feel a certain type of way, then surely and truly something is wrong with me as a human being, seeing other human beings mistreated, um, just like they are not human. It's a sad thing when a society or government structure treat people like they are things. That's a sad situation. But I'm not here to talk about sadness. It's just when these issues hit you, um, it's good to talk about. But it's also good to be inspired, um, keep our spark going. Inspiration is a spark. And we have to continue um, a flame. A flame is actually doing what our Father would have us to do to again keep the light in this decadent world because we know darkness cannot cast out light and it takes light to cast out darkness. With that said, just for a moment again, we last week we talked about stand in your lane, make way for life. And Brother Stagger really brought it and enlightened us. And we know knee baby boy gonna come his way. And uh, he said I do this research a lot of things, and we appreciate again. I said it before. Uh, we all kind of can't come our own way, which is so very, very good that we can get to a certain place um, with different energy, or maybe not different energy, or different thought patterns, bringing something different. So we can see it in more ways than one. But at the end of the end, we know in the pecking order of things, we want to bring the energy of the Word of God, and that is love. And we move this energy forward in love, and that's a beautiful thing. So, with that said, let's get into tonight's topic, which is our anxiety is not thinking of the future, but trying to control it. And tonight, we are bringing to the center of us all, the center of the energy is our brother Harlan Bell. Gonna get us moving in a direction, and we know brother Harlan, we call him baby boy, gonna come his way. And when he come his way, he coming his way. So we, without further ado, I'm talking like a minister or whatever. But anyway, with further ado, here we have Brother Harlan Bell.
All right, Joe. Thank you. Hey, what's going on, guys? Man, all around the world. Yes, sir. Hey, this there's a lot in the world going on where we have reason to be, anxious for different things. And, we know just to, for someone in the back or in the middle that may not understand what anxiety is, as you already broke it down as far as it's anxiety is rooted. I typed it in the chat. It's rooted from the fear of not being in control. You don't have the answers. You can't control the outcome, and you don't have the answers. And which now that brings about, it brings about worry, stress, fear, restlessness, which all lead to panic, or it could lead to a stroke. It could lead to a panic attack. And basically, have you guys, most people have seen a hamster on a wheel, and that hamster is running and that wheel will just keep rolling, right? Now, if the hamster would just stop running, he can walk off the wheel. Well, that's what your brain is like when anxiety is in charge and it's taking over. You're trying to figure everything out. How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? Are we going to war? Is the world going to blow up? Will I be able to afford gas tomorrow? Are eggs going to be too high? Will I be able to eat meat? Will I be able to pay my rent? How is this relationship going to work out? Are we going to stay married? Are we going to be divorced? Do they like me? Do they value me? Do they see me? When is this going to happen? When am I going to get the job? When is this situation going to be resolved? When is my wife going to start speaking to me again? When are my kids going to allow me to call them again? When is this going to stop? When is this wheel going to stop turning? And so that's how what our brain is like when we're thinking of all these things, because see, your mind is trying to figure out, is trying to compartmentalize, is trying to situate some things, it wants to have a balance. It doesn't want to not know the answers. And so when we're trying to figure it out, am I going to be able to do this by this date? Will I lose my house? Will I be evicted from my apartment? Will I be able to pay? Will I be able to keep the job? All these questions. And the reason it's anxiety is because you don't get to choose the outcome, because you're not God. And anxiety is that part of us that is wanting to be God, because we want to know all the answers. We don't like not knowing the answers. That's why you're, little kids, and they keep bugging you, they keep asking you, they keep going. And every question brings another question. That's why for those who are married, your wife is always like, okay, well, what's this? What's plan? What's the plan? And then you tell her what the plan. Then she says, well, what's plan B? Then you tell her, well, what's plan B? Well, what's plan C? And it keeps going and going, because it's a fear of not being able to control the outcome. I know that I'm getting this degree. Will I be able to find a job? So it's questions that we don't have answers for. And so because we don't have the answers for it, now we're stressing out. Now we worry. Now we can't sleep because I'm trying to sleep, but my brain keeps going. That hamster wheel keeps turning. And what I need to understand is the fact that I'm not supposed to have all the answers. So when I'm in that lane of trying to figure it all out, that's called the can't do lane. I cannot control that. I cannot drive that other person's car. I cannot make the decisions for that other person or those other people. I do not get invited to the cabinet meeting, the judicial branch, the legislative branch, and all the executive branch. I don't get invited to those meetings. I don't know if a bomb is going to drop on us tomorrow. I don't know if the power grid is going to shut down next week. All of those things we try to answer questions to in our brains means that I'm trying to step in a God place to know everything because I want to feel comfortable in knowing the outcome. Well, that's not my role. And I need to understand that that's not my role. It's not for me to know all the answers. If I knew all the answers, I would be God. And that's why people have a problem with submitting to God. It's because they want to be God. Man has always wanted to be his own God. He's always wanted to, and that's why we have such a problem as men, pretending to have the answers. And then we actually stressing, and then we run to a bottle, or we run to a strip club, or we run to a gambling ring. We run all these places because we don't have answers when wifey says, how are we going to do this? How are we going to do that? And because he don't have the answers and he's been taught to wear a mask, he's over here having an affair. Now he wherever he can feel like the mask is not been pulled off, where he can pretend to have it all together. Because see, we can be in these different places. We walk down hallways with people at different businesses and different places of function, church, family functions, whether we're at the gym, it doesn't matter. And people pretend, hey, how are you doing? Hey, I'm good. He's got bullets in his pocket. He's thinking about taking his own life. And he just walked by us and told us he was good. Now we see him on the news. And so anxiety will cause you to be paralyzed. It can cause you to lose your job because you can't function at work. You're trying to think about all these things: your work, your life, your kids, your bills, your family. Your mom's got health problems. Your dad, my dad's got this. My mom's got that. Are they gonna be alive next week? Am I gonna be? All these questions. You know, Joe, men, if you are on a computer, even this phone, wherever you're looking at us from, if you keep loading videos and photos and information to that phone or that computer, eventually it's going to be full and it will not function. It's just going to freeze. That's why we have external drives so that we can take the information off the computer, off the phone, so that we're not filling up the memory bank. We're not taking up the space. And so that the device can keep functioning the way that it should function. It should be free to move about, to compartmentalize, to place things. That's the way our mind, it can't be full of questions and we have no answers. When for some now, what people have to understand, what we all have to understand, we're not supposed to be anxious. God said, be anxious for nothing. He didn't say be anxious for a little bit for some things. He said clearly, Harlan, I already know what you need. Harlan, do you see the fowl of the air? Do they look like they're in lack? They don't have a house, but you do. They don't drive a car, but you do. They don't have no place to store up their food, but they're fed every day. So you don't need to worry about tomorrow, Harlan. You need to maximize today. Tomorrow has enough of its own. You're not there. You can't go back to the past and redo. Now, biblically, God says, don't worry because I will provide all your needs if you just trust me and do your part. Your part, be responsible with what I've given you. Be wise with what I've given you, your time, your money, your gifts, your talents, your family, everything that you around. To rule means to manage. Harlan, manage well your time, manage well everything, manage your relationships. Harlan, you need to be talking to me every day if you want your mind to be renewed. You need to know the blueprint. You need to know the plans that I have for your life. If you want to be able to walk through here and not start being afraid when wars and rumors of wars and famines and pestilences and parents killing children and children killing parents and gas prices, food prices, housing, rent, all these things are just all over the place. Harlan, if you want to be able to walk through this life and you want to be able to be steady and steadfast, unmovable, you need to be always abounding in my word. You need to be so rooted and grounded in me that nothing can shake you, nothing can move you, nothing can bend or break you. But you'll be able to stand steady and steadfast no matter what the storms of life have, and people will be able to find strength because you'll be able to tell them why you're standing still, why you're not freaking out, why you're not over here panicking, but you're in the midst of the storm. You understand who's walking you through. And so that anxiety is me trying to step in God's place and not remain in my place of being responsible, staying focused, keeping my eyes on Him, allowing Him to give me wisdom, using the supports around me. Why am I freaking out about this? Hey, Joe knows about that. Hey, Joe, hey, I need help with this. I know you know about this. Can you explain to me what I need to do? Hey, Darren, I know you know about this. I'm dealing with this. Can you explain to me how you got through that or how you were able to do that and help me to be able to navigate this myself? You got fathers, brothers, pastors, counselors, mentors, all these people around. We have to open up our mouths and ask because the answers that I don't have, someone has them. God has them. There's people that God will allow me to have access to that has answers. God doesn't He works through people too. He doesn't need us, He wants us. And so in order for us to get out of the can't do mindset, which is going to cause us panic and fear and worry and doubt, we need to be able to continue to build our community so that we have support and we can call this one for this. I can call this one for that. And we're not feeling like we're on an island by ourselves. And when our wives and our children are asking us for answers, we're not sitting there pretending, but we can be calm in the storm. Oh, wait a minute. Let me call my dad, or let me call my brother. Let me call my friend. Let me call my mentor. Let me call someone. I can find the answers to this, and then we'll know what we need to do next. And so when I'm talking to people every day I was talking to a young man today, and he says I was asking what he does with his time. And, he has anxiety and a whole bunch of other stuff, trauma and all those things. And he says sometimes he just paced the floor all day. So I say, what do you do? What are you thinking? He's talking about all these things that from the past and things that and like he hadn't worked in years because he's allowed this his mental health status to shut him down. And so I said, you ever seen Rocky? Oh yeah, I seen that. I said, sometimes, sir, you got a Rocky Balboa. Rocky already knew what it was like to lose and he wanted to feel what it's like to win. You got a choice. You can just say, oh, this is the state I'm in. and I'm just going to be here. Just doc, just give me some medication and I'll take that and hopefully it'll take my problems away. Sir, you got to understand that medication is not the solution to your problem. It's a support system. You got to do the work. Now, if you would choose to Rocky Balboa and keep getting up, what is it that you haven't been doing that you know that you used to do? Well, I used to do this, I used to do this, I used to do this, How long has it been since you've done all that? 10 years. So if you've allowed this particular symptoms to shut you down, that's basically stealing your life. You can choose to do like Rocky and choose to stay down, refuse to stay down, refuse to stay broken, refuse to accept that this is just where I'm going to be. Or you can start doing like Rocky and start climbing up on them ropes, refusing to stay down, refusing to take a loss, refusing to stay broken just because it's hurting, and get up and choose. What's the one thing that you can do that you haven't been doing? Well, I can start back exercising. When the last time you done that? I'm just all out of shape. I done gained all this weight, whatever it went. But you can choose to get on the treadmill. You can choose to walk. You can choose to run. And so we have to stay out of the can't do lane. Choose to wake up at what can I do? Well, I can make a decision about this. I can call Joe and ask him about this. I can call Eric and ask him about this. If you spend all your time in the can do lane, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. If I spend all my time in the can do lane, that alleviates, takes away all the can't do, because you're going to look up and realize, whoa, I don't even have anxiety no more. I done learned how to trust God. I done learned how to use community and call people that I need help from instead of trying to figure it out in my head. I'll stop right there, Joe.
Well, we thank you, Brother Holland, for bringing us and getting us started on a wonderful topic. Again, we are talking about our anxiety is not thinking of the future, but trying to control it. And, like Brother Holland was saying, that's been an issue with man all along throughout history, that they want to do the things like they created creation. You a creature. And you're not the creator. But we're glad we have a creator. But again, understand that the creature will never know more than the creator. And I think coming to that realism, being realistic about things. But again, we can all be shaken. And I think we've talked about that many times over and over. But again, when you go into isolation, and when you just talking to you, or may not even be talking, period. Not even, to self. I mean, it's not a good place to be. I mean, we always say in silence is many answers, but there's a difference between silence and solitude. It's totally different entity, and we have to be in present moments. At this present moment, we talked about that. Anywhere other than the present moment, then you're nowhere. And the now here. And these present moments is where, again, this is a community of coming together. Like you say, we all have different gifts and talents. We all have been through different things. But if you come in and just listen, something here may remind you of what you're going through. And again, like Harlan was saying, some of us have answers. You always say we have a lot of wisdom up in here that you can come in and maybe listen and just say, I'll give that some thought. That makes a lot of sense. It's sensible and they're openly sharing it. So what am I saying? I'm saying is it'll keep you from overload, isolation. Like it stifles your growth. It's just you can only talk to yourself and get self thoughts, and some of those thoughts will lead you down a path that you don't want to be in. So again, Brother Holland, appreciate you jump starting the topic for tonight. And we're not talking about things that's not real. It's real to many and even to us. So this is a great topic to kind of get some feedback on. Um, Anybody else? We're kind of moving around the room. Again, our anxiety is not thinking of the future, but trying to control it. Anybody else?
All right, Joe, I'll jump on in there.
All right.
First of all, happy birthday to Joe Williams coming up on Tuesday, April
Awesome.
28th.
Well, thank you.
Yes, sir.
It's getting close.
Yes,
And
sir.
can't forget my baby brother coming up on Thursday, April
Yes, sir.
30th.
Yes, sir.
We got two brothers right here having their birthday. I'm not a singer. So Harlan, I wish it wasn't your birthday so I can ask you to sing happy birthday. But I can't have you sing happy birthday for your own birthday. So happy
Right.
birthday, man, with
Thank
both
you.
of you guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
First of all, Joe, you was talking, and me and you and Harlan, and when we first started, we started talking about these disturbing things that are going on in the world. And we talking about anxiety and control. I think what we have now is a lack of control.
Mm.
And we've come to a place where that goes all the way up to the top, where things have become acceptable. If I do this, I don't have to worry about it because he did it, he approves it, or you can get pardoned. So if you do something drastic or something terrible, it's almost like there's little or no repercussions, so to speak, in some situations. If I hope I'm making sense when I say that. But then, nevertheless, Harlan, when you started talking about the anxiety piece, you made me think about something. You said, basically, you're saying we try to go it alone too much instead of leaning on our brothers and each other. You know, I'm the man. I got to handle this. We try to play God ourselves. When you think about it, even in this room and in church, you can find somebody in your church if you and everybody is so many different people with so many talents and career backgrounds that you could probably find everything you need almost right there. You got a counselor, you got an insurance man, you got a real estate agent, you got somebody that's in finance. I mean, you got so much that you can, instead of trying to do it yourself, you know. But anxiety is really refusing responsibility with control. You know, like you got to provide for your family. There's going to be career uncertainties. There's going to be financial stuff. That's real responsibility. The anxiety creeps in when we can't guarantee the outcome. That's hard to say it. But instead of being faithful, and I can give you guys an example of myself. I put myself in there to be totally transparent because I find myself doing the same thing too. Um, when I was planning to retire, now you guys already know I retired from the military. When I was planning to retire from my last job because I retired from the military, I retired from civil service, and then I retired from my last job. And I was like, I wanted to make sure I was making the right decision. And we pray about everything, or supposed to anyway. So I felt in my heart it was time for me to retire, and then I felt comfortable with that decision. But I wanted to know the outcome. I wanted to know, am I gonna have this much money in a year? I wanted to know some breakdown with the car. I'm gonna be able to pay. Am I gonna be able to do this? Just recently, I thought I was gonna have to pay almost $100,000. Come to find out, I walked out there didn't have to pay anything.
Awesome.
That's because if I just have faith and trust in God and drop all of that anxiety, He'll work everything out for you. Um, and then Jesus, um, he helps us not see the future, plan for your future, but do it anxiety free, so to speak. In other words, don't worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow, worry about itself, as it says in the Bible. Now, Harlan gave us some good examples about these what if scenarios. If I lose my job, what if I get sick? What are my kids going to do? But Jesus helps us put this focus in the right place. And if we have obedience and stay faithful, instead of worrying about hypotheticals, then we once again we'll be I think in a better place. And once again, I put it on me. I had to learn to take one day at a time. I spent all my life to finally get to the point of being able to take one day at a time. When I was in high school, I couldn't wait to graduate. When I joined the military, couldn't wait to make E5. Okay, now I want to make E7. Then I couldn't wait to retire. All this time, life passing me by. The years going by. Then I said, when I turn 50, I'm going to do this. Once I get 60, I'm going to do this. Once I get such and such age, well, if I collect Social Security now, then when I get such and such age, I'll be all this time, life just going by. So I got to a point like, what's wrong with taking one day at a time? What's happening if you don't get this done today? Is it gonna hurt you if you do it tomorrow? Can it wait? Why you got all of this anxiety going through your head? You got all these things. You want to do this, you want to do that, you want to do this and do that. Can you just take one day at a time? Yeah. But so, like Harlan said, control is normally rooted really in fear and not faith. You're fearing and you're not you really have a lack of trust in God because you want to be able to control the outcome yourself. When it comes to all of these things, we talk about careers and everything. Now, I got to go Eric Shaw. I had to learn to surrender.
Yes. Come on. Come on. Stop it.
What do you say? Cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you.
All of it, Aaron.
And that's something we have to do daily,
Absolutely.
over again. Surrender is not a one-time thing because it's gonna come back day after day. Here's one of the areas I had to surrender because I'm trying to really be transparent with you guys without rambling on too much. When it comes to temptation and sin and being a man, it's easy for us to be overpowered by the enemy if we try to do everything on our own strength. Because it took me almost all my life, Eric, when I come up against these temptations and these issues that seem to want to overpower me, to say, Lord, I cannot fight this by myself. I can't do it. So I surrender. You told me if I bind it on earth, you will bind it in heaven. So that means me and you have a partnership. I cannot get through this life without surrendering to you and you taking over when life gets too hard and it's get too much for me to bear. So And I started doing that since I come into the men's locker room, listening to Eric tell his story about surrender. So that's one of the things why what Harlem was saying, why we need to be able to lean on each other. And hey, Joe, like Harlem was saying, hey, Eric, man, what was that you were talking about surrender, man? Because I'm struggling with that. You know what I'm saying? So he said he'll keep you in perfect peace whose mind has stayed on him. Ain't that what he said? Because
What is
Harlan was saying how we want to control the outcome. That's what the problem is. We want to control the outcome. So now I'm kind of getting like Eric in this too. These are just hypothetical questions that I came up with at the end, and you guys don't have to answer. Just
You
something
better
for
put
all
it
of
out
us in
there.
the room
You better
to
put
think
it out
about.
there. Come on.
Where in your life are you trying to control outcomes instead of being faithful?
Come on.
What's one future fear that keeps coming back to get you that you think about? And lastly, what does surrender actually look like for you, like right now this week? Y'all don't have to answer that, but those are some thought-provoking things that came with that I was when I was preparing, thinking about this. I'm getting like Joe, moving my hands and talking, and that's what you get when you follow behind your big brother.
Hey, you're around people. That's what is gonna happen.
Yeah. So yeah,
Absolutely.
think about those questions, and with that, I'll shut up and yield the balance of my time, as they say in Congress. Mm.
All right. Walk on in there.
anybody?
Well, fellas, since I've been called, and I appreciate you there. I really do. You know, this anxiety thing and this this anxiety has been showing up in the physical bodies of people. So, in some of these other groups that I partake in, there's a lot of young men that are physically controlled by anxiety, where they shake, they
Absolutely.
stutter, they you can see it come out in their body. You know, and you're right, anxiety comes from trying to control outcomes when outcomes have already been defined. However, I think it goes a little deeper than that. And I haven't said this in a while. Unforgiveness keeps us in a place of trying to control outcomes. And when we don't let go of things, an example of that, being in relationships and you have an abandonment issue. My mother wasn't there for me. My father wasn't there for me. So in my young life, I had a problem with relationships because I didn't trust them.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't trust that they would be there. I didn't trust that they were genuine. I didn't trust anything they did or anything they said. Now, the funny thing about that statement is this. Through my low moments, there were some skills that were learned. And that was how to see people for what they really are. However, because of the unforgiveness that was attached to abandonment, I couldn't see those tools, those skills couldn't be used to benefit me to grow and go in the direction that the Father has put in front of me. So it was almost like having on a pair of real dark shades in the daytime and at night. The way you really you couldn't see no further past your nose. So this anxiety thing is a big deal because it is driving a lot of people crazy. It is causing them to make choices. That's why we're seeing all of this, causing us to make choices based on our emotions and our feelings. But I do believe that it goes there's a lower level to it, and that's attached to unforgiveness. Because when you when you don't forgive, you're gonna try to control everything,
Absolutely.
except for the one that you are in control of, and that's you.
That's right.
We go outward. Unforgiveness makes us deal with the outward reality. It
Right.
makes us focus on things that we have no control over, trying to control them, but we stay out here. So now we become detached, and we really can't be detached because God would never detach himself. However, we're so detached from just the little things, the little blessings, the grace, the mercy that he pours on us daily. We detach from being able to see it. And when I was growing up, it was like it was one thing after another, seemed like one thing after another. And then it became so lonely. Then it's like, golly, I'm tired of being alone. So then I go outward so I'm not alone. But what I ran into was that I was in relationships that reflected how I feel about myself on the inside. It is crazy how he has created us. So once I realized that, that's where this journey of surrendering and forgiving and just letting go of outcomes, because I've also learned this through my time, is that outcomes have already been defined. The process is where we fall in love. It ain't when you see, oh, I'm in love. It's not, oh, we're going to be married 30, 40, 50, 60 for the rest of our lives. Those are things that have already been defined. The key is the process. Because if you fall in love with the process, you get up daily in surrender mode. You stay present. You get up daily seeking him. You get up daily thirsty for that nourishment that can be the only nourishment that will truly quench your thirst or feed your hunger. So through all those things taught me that if I just let go of trying to control outcomes, because really what that means is that we're trying to control others.
Mm-hmm.
We're not really talking about outcomes at the end of the day. We're trying to control others. We have no control over anything that we did not create.
That's right.
So this is a wonderful topic, and if we can get to a place of letting go, and I say that sometimes, and people, well, how I'm going to let go of something?
Well, that's the key.
That's the key. How I'm going to let go of this, but yet I care about it. Well, if you truly love something, you won't hold on to it.
Yes, sir.
You'll let it be
Well,
what it's supposed to be.
yeah.
And if it's supposed to be with you, it will be with you. But
Or
the
if you hate it,
key,
Eric.
or you had, so the key is that externally, that's not what I love, that other person, your children, the money in your bank account, the cars, all these outward things. That doesn't define what love is. Love is what you see when you look at you and how you feel about you. You can't want change in your life if you don't become the change.
That's right.
You can't receive and have love if you're not love.
That's right.
You want peace, you got to be peace.
One.
You got to be the things that you want. And that's
That's
an
right.
inward way of going about living. And when you go inward, and I ain't talking about suppression or isolation.
Mm-mm.
That's not what I'm talking about. Inward is you knowing who you are and whose you are when you
Yes.
go in there. So when you go in there, guess who waiting on you? It ain't you necessarily. It's God waiting on you to reconnect to him and trust him totally. But if we're living in a place of unforgiveness and we living in a place of not surrendering, we're gonna continue to be anxiety driven. We're gonna continue to allow our emotions to make choices. We're gonna continue to
That's right,
run on that wheel. We're
sir.
gonna continue to chase the car, and the car is going around the corners in a circle. Even though it's a square, it's still a circle.
Yes,
We're
sir.
gonna start chasing out the things that are temporal, that gives us a instant and a non-sustainable feeling that won't last. So we really have to get to a place of surrendering and forgiving. We got to forgive in order to surrender.
You you
We
can't
we,
move
we
forward.
you
Yes.
can't. You stuck. And I was talking to one of my boys the other day. He was telling me, I just feel trapped. I
Attached.
said, well, and I'm gonna be a little transparent parent. I in my previous marriage, my boys grew up thinking that I was trapped. So my daughter had a stroke when she was 9 months old. My kids are something else. They see it before you see it, but they're so innocent about it. They don't know how to kind of maneuver and be quiet about it. So they always felt this tension, this thing that just wasn't right. No matter what I did to try to fix it,
Mm.
all I did was make it worse. So when we try to control something, and fear is in place and all those things, what you fight against, you make bigger.
Yes. That's right.
Actually, when you fight against something, you give them power. You lose your power. You give
Yeah.
your power away when you fight. When you
Right.
fighting against something that you cannot win against because you didn't create it. So when that hit me, it was like, okay, oh, you feel that way? Okay,
Yeah.
I'm doing the best I can. Father, show me the way,
Hmm.
and trust it, and not fight against him. Because a lot of times we ain't just fighting against the person or the issue or the situation. We're really fighting against the Father
What
because
we
he's
doing?
telling you what to do.
Mm.
Yes.
But because this fear of that's connected to unforgiveness and not letting things go, I mean, we'll hold on to something bad before we open our hand up to something good. And that's really wild to me to even say it and think about it. We'll hold on to something so bad, but we won't open our hearts up to something that is best for us.
Yes. That's right.
So surrendering and forgiving takes care of the fear, which which gets rid of the anxiety.
Hmm.
And that's when we talk about forgiveness, and I think that people will get mad at you because you tell them to let go of things.
Hmm.
And what they're saying is, I want justification before I let go.
That's right.
And
Mhm.
what you're asking is, you're asking, God has already paid for that. So what do you want? Because what about all the things you did? What about all the things you thought
All
about?
right.
We just don't have it on camera. And so when we talk about that a little further, letting go and forgiveness, that simply means drop the charges. Stop
Mm.
trying to get your own personal justification for this before you think you can move on with your life. And you don't understand. You waking up injecting yourself with poison every
Yeah.
day, and
That's
you
right.
paralyzing your own self every
Hmm.
day. And so the things that when you look at it, what you're doing is, okay, because you couldn't stop that person from abusing you, because you couldn't stop your parents from divorcing, or you couldn't stop that person from molesting you, or abusing you, or banning you, or whatever the situation was, because you couldn't stop it. That's what creates that desire to control,
Mhm.
because you don't like, because what you know of not being in control hurts. It hurts
Mhm.
when they left. It hurts when my mom died when I was 3 years old. It hurts when my dad left me and my mom and we were homeless or broke or whatever. It hurt when my grandfather died when I didn't even never get to meet him or whatever it was. People don't want to let it go. It's like you
Hmm.
can't go back. There's no time travel. You can't go back and redo that. You can't go back and fix your parents. You can't go back and make them redo their marriage. There's, it's you. That's the problem. It's like I hate that I couldn't control that from happening.
Mhm.
What could I have done? What if I would have did this? What if no?
Oh, yeah, no.
That's the can't do lane.
Right.
Driving your lane is what we're talking about when we're talking about governing yourself. You only get to choose for you. You don't get to choose for your parents. I know people right now are losing their mind about things that their parents did. And we're not even talking about all the bad stuff. I'm talking about people that can't even get over their parents' divorce. That's not your decision.
That's right.
That you're not a child anymore. And now you can't move in your life because you still holding on. You can't go back to the past and you can't go to the future. All you got is the present. You can't touch tomorrow and you can't touch yesterday. They're both untouchable. You all only have today. And if you can't stay in that can-do lane, man, you're in trouble because you're gonna be paralyzed, you're gonna be panicking, you're gonna lose your job, you're gonna lose your house, you're gonna lose your family, you're gonna lose your mind.
That's right.
All because you trying to figure it all out instead of just saying, Lord, I don't know the answers, but I know you do.
That's right.
And
You're
that's what
gonna
we talk
lose the
about.
things you fear.
Everything you fear will come upon you.
That's right.
And when we can understand that, oh, I know everybody don't know the Lord, but we talking to the ones who do understand and have a knowledge of some sort. I'm not talking to somebody that does not or reject the truth of the Bible. You think what you want, but for those of you that have some knowledge of the true and living God, you got to understand that He will order your steps if you
Yes, sir.
allow Him. He won't force you. It's a choice. Love
Yeah.
is not forced. It's a choice. I mean,
Hey,
come on,
let me flip the script here.
flip it.
What would happen if he did show us everything?
We wouldn't need no
We
faith.
wouldn't be able to even handle it if he showed us
No,
everything
that's
that
right.
was.
Yeah.
What if
We
he told
really
me?
be panicking.
What if Darren Staggers? You're gonna die at 90 years old.
Come
Okay.
on.
All right. What am I gonna do between now and 90? I've got 28 years left. Let me see. Or when you buy that scratch off tomorrow, you gonna win $1 million. I'm telling you now. I mean, oh, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna give 10%. He ain't gonna do this. What if hey, your wife gonna leave you in 2 weeks? What are you gonna do? You gonna fall apart before them 2 weeks come? If he told you, next year this time, I'm gonna make sure you're gonna lose everything you own.
Right.
Now, you very well might lose everything you own, but what if he told you was going to lose everything you own? You wouldn't even be able to handle your life for the next year.
That's right.
That's right.
So what he's doing is protecting you from yourself by not revealing everything and giving you hope in a future, as Jeremiah says, plans to prosper you and not to harm you. But another thing I would say is, and I've experienced this myself because I got to put myself in there, anxiety will cause you to lower your expectations.
Absolutely.
Because
Absolutely.
if you say, well, let me see.
Because you fear failure.
Let me give an example. It's like every time I do X, I get dragged back here. Every time I try to move forward, I get put back here. Well, I'll just make myself feel comfortable. I ain't gonna expect nothing good because every time I do something, if I don't expect it, maybe when it happens, I won't.
That's exactly what it is.
You know what I'm saying? I won't have to worry.
You planning to fail.
Yeah. So if I just don't expect nothing good, so when something bad happens, at least I'll be in a better position not to even have to worry about it, and that'll be even a worse situation to be in.
Mm-hmm. And that's surrendering to your lower entity too.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying, that basically God made a mistake with me.
Mm.
Who told you that? Or who telling you that? Who?
Right.
Who are you listening to, young man? And that in itself, again, I think this is what I think, and I know to some degree that we all have been through some things, but somewhere through surrender, we're on a whole nother path. And I say that because we understand, we get some understanding, all of us, however we got to the level of knowing this God, that is a God that's always present, never an absence. And we rise up to a vibrational energy through falling through the raw materials. These are the raw materials we're talking about that brings us the anxiety, if that makes sense. A lot of it, life will have its pain. We are here to seek joy, even though we will go through some things, but self-inflicted things, the way you talk to yourself,
Come on.
the way mediocrity is self-inflicted. But to revamp or renew, start anew. Who can we start anew? Knowing who you are in the mind of God. And what do? The spark is inspiration. To keep the flame going is practice. You get better. I mean, I know Eric, been around football, but you get better with practice. This thing we're talking about here, we got to keep practicing. Keep that flame going.
Yes,
Don't let the flame go. And we all have, probably to some degree, fell off for various reasons. But then we spark again and keep the flame going. Practice, get better. We come into these different rooms. I heard Brother Shaw said he go into a lot of different rooms with other entities, with young men, and we all, to some degree, share more than just the locker room because we have to live this thing called life. And we get strength in here, we get inspiration in here, we get vibrational energy. We come in to get gassed up, to keep us going forward. Sometimes we come in here, we start the conversation talking about all the atrocities that's going on, and we hear this, and Brother Harlan would say, "Hey, man, we got work to do," and that's the truth, man. And because it's people hurting, we hurt, the neighbor hurt, somebody call you on the phone, this going on. I just lost my mom. My brother's sick. All of this. And that comes at you, and it's hard for you to just take it like water and roll it off your back. No, if you geared like that, you got some real issues. That's all I can say about you. Well, nothing phase you. But what I'm saying, this energy, we have to keep it going. And it helps us to know that we gotta go within. Go within. Go within. Keep alignment. Surrender, alignment, keep aligned. And how do we do that? Meditation, reading the word, spending time in silence with our Heavenly Father. That is continuous. We want to be on that wavelength. Again, encouraging each other to do what others don't want to do. But once we know the truth, we're mandated to spread it. We are in disobedience. So you wonder why you're not getting blessings? Check yourself. before you wreck yourself. Check yourself.
Hey, hey, Joe.
Yay, man.
I run there. I'm gonna flip what you just said.
All right.
You know, a lot of times expectations come from the same place of unforgiveness and holding on to things. So even expectations at times can cause anxiety and stress
Yes, sir.
because usually expectations are outwardly. We can put expectations out there on other people, but yet we won't walk in them same expectations.
That's right.
So I agree with you. I just want to flip it and add that because the other end of expectation can be just that. If I'm expecting my wife to be a certain way because of something that happened back here, I am putting an expectation on her to be something that she might not be.
That's right.
So now there's an anxiety or a anticipation of someone doing something because I'm expecting that from them. And I got one of my boys is, because of the death of his brother, and the anniversary was on the 20th, he is still in a place where he expects certain things to be because of not having his brother. And when he doesn't get it and receive it, the anxiety goes through the roof and he turns into the Hulk.
Mm,
He gets super emotional, he gets super judgmental, and he becomes destructive. Not just physically, but just even in his own mind. And I'm giving an example what I'm talking about. So he's still playing ball. So he had two cracks in his shin. So he's been on crutches since the season. This probably happened week 6, week 7, maybe. And he just went to the doctor on the 20th. And they kept him on the crutches. He thought he was coming off. And the crack there's healing there, but not enough. And we got to talking about how this anxiety shuts down the body of the natural process of healing as well.
yes. Okay. Okay.
But yet he's expecting all these things from other people to make him feel good about him and the loss of his brother. So his grieving is full of anxiety and expectations that these people cannot meet. So he keeps running into the wall and hitting his head up against it, and hitting his
Mm.
head up against it, hitting his head up against it. So I just wanted to flip that and add that
Yeah.
piece, bro, not disregarding what you said because I agree with that. Um, Understanding that expectations is a word that is very dangerous in a
Mm-hmm.
sense that is used as a good thing, but really when you put those expectations out there, you're really putting them on other folks and you're demanding and trying to control them to be what you need them to be in your own moment instead of turning inward and depending on the only one that can
Yeah.
be what you need in that moment.
Eric,
You're right. And
Eric, my wife and I have made a lot of mistakes and made by putting expectations on people in our family,
Yeah.
hoping they would change.
Mm.
Yeah.
They might need some money, and you say, okay, if I do it this one time, they'll get out of that rut that they're in, and I don't have to worry about them no more. Next thing you know, same situation all over again. I
Mhm.
mean,
And then you get mad at them, but how can you get mad at
you can't.
them when they
Yeah.
done already showed you where they are?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, look, one might be an alcoholic. Pretty soon you get tired of fussing with them saying, you know, you need to quit drinking, you're an alcoholic. They already know they're an alcoholic.
Yeah.
They know that they have the work that they need to do, but you spend all of this time worrying. I mean, it's almost natural to worry about your family and care about your family. You want your family to
Mm-hmm.
do good. But I'll just share this with y'all. Sometimes I have to tell my wife, you cannot change Sally Sue.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
It don't matter
Sally
how
Sue
bad
has
you
to
want.
want to change and put in the work for
There you
Sally
go.
Sue.
Yes,
You
sir.
can't be tossing and turning and crying, hoping, even if they that close to you, they got to want to do the work themselves.
Yes, sir.
And Eric, you said something a minute ago that got real juicy too, man. You when you was talking about the ex,
Hmm.
and you either want your wife to be that way or you don't want her to be
Right. And
something you
we
experienced
get caught
before.
up in it. Yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
then you'll get caught up. Well, I wish she would do that though, you know.
Right.
And then, and I've said this last week, um, a lot of times guys will mess up because their wife 9 times out is not going to be 100% of everything you want.
Oh no.
No.
But she might be 90. God get
Yeah.
and you probably ain't but 85 or 80 to her. She just
That's
ain't
right.
told you yet. But
That's right.
Yeah.
but so you tip, man, I got so and so used to do this, or when I was stationed over here in the military, man, but I sure wish my wife would do that.
Right.
So I'm being real now.
All right.
Yeah.
You go over here and you mess up, right? Thinking
Yeah.
you're getting that little 5 or 10% that you are not. And
Mm-mm.
that's how the devil gets you hook, line,
Mm-hmm.
and sinker.
Oh
You
yeah.
got everything that God
Mm-hmm.
intended you to have in a help meet right here.
Come on.
Yeah.
And Eric, you said something a minute ago. You know what to do. It's right
Right.
there. But no, I don't want to go right. I want to go left.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. So you end up, man, and I've seen it happen so many times that you just ruin your whole life. Your kids don't respect you anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. When you put that kind of pressure on something and it's not meant to be that kind of pressure on, those pipes are gonna burst at some point.
Yes, yes,
Yes. That's right.
yes,
And
yes,
then when we get in this place of these kind of um, trauma driven expectations,
Mm-hmm.
let's say it
yes,
like that,
yes, yes.
and you start to dehumanize
Come on
that
now.
person that you put these on.
Yeah.
So now they're not real. It's just a tool for you. So now what you still holding on to that you won't let go, you're putting it off on someone else and you're destroying them as
Mm-hmm.
well.
That's right.
Yes.
You know,
It's
I
called
tell my
taking it
wife
out.
all the time,
Yeah,
yeah,
you taking it out on that
yeah,
person really, like a lot of times abused women get married, or men too, and they don't do their work first.
right.
So
Depending on the out.
you
Depending
bringing
on outward.
baggage in, you bringing
Yeah,
baggage.
yeah.
What I call it, unresolved pain or unresolved
It's
trauma,
unresolved trauma. Yeah.
Trauma.
unresolved
Yeah.
trauma
Yep.
that you bringing into there, and then the person that you're bringing it to, they'll be like, excuse my French, but what in the hell is going on?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, what did
I
I do
always
to deserve this?
right. That's right.
Yeah,
That's
Mm-hmm.
right.
yeah.
I tell my wife, I said, baby, I just want you to be you.
That's right.
Hmm.
And I know life has taken over. You've had some very difficult times in your life. And I remember her making a comment to me. She said, I'm not that 17-year-old girl that you knew. And I said, baby, yes, you are. Yes, you are. Who you are is what I see in you. I just want you to be that. You have been through a lot in your life apart from me, and it has created some some math, some coping skills, some things, because you just trying to maneuver through it. But who you are will never change. You just have put that person away. I want you to bring that person out, and I want you to be the best version of you.
Yes.
It ain't got nothing to do with where you came from, what you've been through. It ain't got nothing to do with my two marriages because
Mm.
you're not that.
Right.
I knew that from the very beginning. We are here, and being present, I always believe is the key. So in relationships, you have to be present. And
Mm-hmm.
if you really want to take a deep look at it, your relationship with the Father will show in your outer life,
Yes,
your
sir.
environment,
Mm-hmm.
especially with your spouse.
Yes,
If
sir.
your relationship is always gimme, 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 I'm pretty sure it's the same way with your spouse.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
If your relationship is always take, 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 it's going to be the same way. If your relationship with the Father is so transactional, I'm sure your relationship with your spouse is very transactional.
Mm.
There's no true unconditional love because that person is still in survival mode because they haven't let go of the stuff back here.
Mm-hmm.
Being present, relationships, people say, I've heard elders say relationships are hard. No, they're not.
Mm-hmm.
No, they're not. If
That's
you're
depends who
present
it
in a
is.
relationship,
Yeah,
it's easy.
that's
And
right.
then those hiccups that come, those
Mm-hmm.
things that you have no control that show up, you can deal with it because there's
Mm.
a level of trust
Yes, sir.
when you being present
Yes.
with the one God has put you with.
Right.
Mm.
And that's not just that relationship, that's all of our relationships. We're created to be in relationships.
Yes,
We're
sir.
created to be there for each other. But
Mm-hmm.
if you standoffish or you still got these walls up because you got these unresolved issues that you don't want to deal with, you're
Mhm.
trying to hide these secrets. Now you're projecting that out on other folks that are there genuinely to be there to support and help you grow because they're sharpening you and you're sharpening them. But you got to
Mm.
be present in that. And the only
Mm.
way to truly be present, you got to surrender. You
Yeah.
got to forgive. You got
Yeah.
to do that daily.
You got to be in present moments and present in the moments. That's what I'm saying, and again, it's got to be conversation,
Yes.
converse,
Come on.
laughter, laughter.
That's right.
You got to have that. When it's shut down the conversation and nobody is walking around like two ships passing in the night, I
Come
don't
on.
think I'm gonna be able to do that.
No, sir.
No. What we doing here? That's
Sometimes, Joe,
lifeless.
you just have to let some things roll off your back too.
Come on.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
But don't hold that.
Right.
But don't hold that. It's many things you say in the room, Harlan. But one thing you said before, and I just lost my thought. what I it was gosh, I had it right there. Come back to me. Um oh, don't look over there. Remember, you already got that at the house.
Come on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You
Don't
got that
forget.
and more.
Yes, sir.
That's a glimpse. Now that's a tip.
Come on.
You got a tip over here and you got an iceberg at the house.
What you say?
Mm-hmm.
It go wide, don't it? I mean, the tip is just a tip.
Come on.
An iceberg is deep and wide.
Yes, sir.
So, it's a no-brainer almost, but it's just that.
Yes,
So,
sir.
um, there's a lot going on. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. But anybody else? I think Brother Lynch popped in the room. You still there?
Let's see. Yeah, he's still in there. I'm not sure if he's at work or not, or
Okay.
whether
He
he can.
may be at work. I know he was going to pop in. Brother Kyle on?
He is. He's. I don't know if
Here.
he's. There he is.
I'm,
Oh,
I'm just enjoying y'all's conversation, man. Y'all getting pretty deep in here.
hey, Kyle,
Walk on in there,
if I'd have
Carl.
known you
Walk
was
on
here, I
in
wouldn't
there.
have ran my mouth so much.
No, I'm here. I'm on my phone, and my phone won't let me put a picture up.
Okay.
Okay.
But I'm just sitting here enjoying the conversation. Uh, my take on it is that, when you're anxious for something, that means that you're not in control. And when you're not in control, you don't make the best thoughts process either for the remedy of the problem or what you're anxious for. Sometimes, it's just like, when we was young, we was anxious. You couldn't go to sleep because Santa Claus was coming. Now, we never did see Santa Claus, but you knew it was presents up underneath the tree that Santa's supposed to bring you that was already there that you're going to open them up. And so you was anxious to see what was inside the present. But what I think we're talking about is more of an adult anxious of things that we try to control that we can't control. And one of the things that came to me is that God gave us a spirit, not of fear, but of power and love and self-control. Now, do you know a lot of people who have fear and they don't have power and they don't feel love and they out of self-control? Do you know most of those people are the ones that commit suicide or have suicidal thoughts in their minds?
Mm-hmm.
When you're talking about anxiety, a lot of people who have anxiety problems, they are the ones that commit suicide, because when a person commits suicide, from what I'm told and what I have seen, is that they have exhausted all of their resources other than God. And when they resulted all their resources and they don't have anything else to handle that problem or to get that problem corrected, they see the easy way out, and that is to take their own lives. But God says, don't be anxious for anything. He said, but in everything by prayer. And so we need to pray about these things that God tells that we're anxious, that we feel anxious about, and we need to go to Him to get our solution. And it also says that we shall come confident in saying, Lord is my helper. Who will I who will I not fear? And then what can man do to me? See, we fear a lot of things that we shouldn't fear because God never put that into our spirit. Somebody else put that fear in our spirits, and it wasn't God. And so now we're so fearful about what's going to happen tomorrow. And God says, He says, therefore, don't be anxious about tomorrow, for tomorrow will be anxious for itself. It's significant for the day, it has its own trouble. So you don't even have to be anxious about what's going to happen tomorrow if you're going to lose your job or whatever, because of what you was talking about earlier about the person being slammed on the concrete. The guy down there in Shreveport killed his whole family. People losing a job because of our administration and all of that type of stuff, and lies about things about the prices of gas and the things that's going to come tomorrow. Tomorrow has its own problems other than the ones that we try to be anxious for, that we supposed to go to God so God can help us to be able to help us to understand and to lean on Him, to that He can be our Father, that He can be able to be our support in our time of need.
Mm-hmm.
That's it for me. That's Okay, you waiting for me to say I could say more, but I say less.
Yeah.
There you
You
go.
gotta
I
put
don't say that today, but you sitting there holding, so I will say more, but I say less.
All
Yes,
right.
sir.
Well, thank you, Brother Kyle. We appreciate you coming on and um, giving your comments, and it's always refreshing just to hear the comments of all the people in the room, and we don't want to ever feel like we left anyone out. So we really appreciate that. Anybody else? We're still talking about our anxiety is not thinking of the future, but trying to control it. Anybody else? Don't want to leave anyone out.
You got anything for us? I see my brother Chris Dunning popped in. I almost thought your hat said "Make America Great Again," but I had to get close. I had to get closer to the screen.
Brother
On
Chris.
that note, I definitely got to chime in. Hey, fellas, how y'all doing, man? It's good to see you.
There we go.
Always.
Yeah.
Yes, it's in the second drawer, son. But yes, man, as usual, it's always a blessing just to be in the room with the greatest mentors that I know on this side of heaven. And talking about the anxiety, man, pretty much taking over. That's a heavy topic. So uh, I done deal with a lot of it also. Um, when you're not really locked in and laser focused, and if you're not engaged in and literally like this meeting every Thursday and me tuning in and locked in with my everyday church in the community helps me keep my anxiety down. So when I'm not literally focused in and and you got to be careful because if you got so much going on as I do with my four children whatnot and bouncing around back and forth to Dallas every single week, you'll get sidetracked off on the and forget the purpose on why you was even here. So I always gotta buckle down and slow down and remind myself of as soon as I got up in the morning, what did I do? I got on my knees. I thank God for waking me up. And I ask God every day, what is it that you would have for me to do? What is it in your will that you would have me to
Right.
do? And if somebody make me mad, like, okay, just driving to Dallas on
Mhm.
itself, with the road rage of the Americans now and how so many Californians is coming over here and so many people that will cut you off without putting their blinkers lights on, whether it be diesels or just regular, pedestrian drivers, man, it'll have you back out there swearing and not focused and not even focused on like slow down because where you going ain't moving. It's just you getting there at a certain time, and depending on if you left at the right time, definitely with me. I'm on a call. Hold on 1 second, okay? Give me 1 second, okay? I apologize. That's David chiming in.
Yeah.
He trying to make him a sandwich. But it'll throw you off and it'll have you detoured. So I always go back to grounding myself and being laser focused on what it is that I got going on for that day. And at the same time, always being thankful and thanking God that I even got that opportunity to see another day, first of all, and then to get back to what it is that I'm really doing. You know what I'm saying? Even in my
Yeah.
every single day in life with my children. My son's birthday was just yesterday. I was in DeSoto, Texas yesterday, and I was in Richardson 3 hours prior to that to doing therapy. And then the day before that, I was here in Tyler because my baby girl got National Junior Honor Society. And a few hours before that, my oldest daughter, getting ready to graduate, she's getting taking on a new job position and we're locking in on that and everything. So, and not to mention this is my baby boy alone, I homeschool him. So if things can get so chaotic and my anxiety can sometimes take over where I have to slow down and lock in. And sometimes I have to even apologize to my son because I've been probably said something I had no business. Then I have to remind myself, I love you, son. I apologize. That ain't really what I meant to say, and that ain't how I wanted to say. But just know I love you, and I'm just moving too fast. I'm doing too much, and I gotta remember that you watching every move, and also what I say to you is gonna be a major impact on your future. Because
Yes.
I'm learning that now with my oldest daughter. We had to stop on a Sunday, maybe about 2 months ago, and just like I did last year with you guys, just listening to y'all, I wasn't gonna say nothing, and I usually wait till somebody asks me, because I like to listen to the room and what everybody got to say. Because I always got some great. You guys always got great takeaways, great notes. Every single time I listen to y'all, it's something new that I've learned, and I'm like, thank you, God, because I learned another lesson as a man. You know what I'm saying? So I can engage and talk to it doesn't help me talk to my kids different, my family, my mama different. You know what I'm saying? Just that when you thought you respected your mama and your daddy, and you get around some real serious heterosexual solid men, it'll make you buckle down and apologize for some stuff you done said in the past. Mama, I apologize. I love you, because I'm just thinking. And I'm talking about me. I'm not talking about everybody. Maybe I was upset one day and you were just saying checking on me, and I'm upset that you checking on me when I should be thankful that you
Yes.
checking on me.
Yeah.
Something simple, just simple like that. I was in Dallas last night. She checked on me late in the baby, I'm just checking on you. Where you at? Mom, you done called me 3 to 4 times. I got so much going. I'm in Dallas. But then again, it's the love and the nurture of my mama should make you stop and say, guess what? That's mama calling.
Mm-hmm.
The one who had you. The one who listened to all that nappy head nonsense that you put her through. And she still yet call at grown man just to check on you. You know, and those anxieties of the world, man, to throw you off, definitely with me. And just like I said, this is my anchor right here. You guys are my anchors, man. And y'all keep me laser focused and locked down. And I'll be so grateful to just listen to what y'all got to say before I even have something to say, because it's always a takeaway that I done heard from either Mr. Harlan, Mr. Darren, definitely you, Mr. Joe, and Mr. Eric, on what and how should I present what I'm saying in a better way or in a better manner. And even we was talking to I think her name was Miss Marilyn, last week,
Mm-hmm.
on just slowing down and breathing before you start your conversation, or your delivery on on even what you have to say. And I was like, wow, man, when you think you got it all and you think you really smooth, because that's my nickname, my business name, something simple as that, just slow down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I run with that, man. I'll be ready to shout. Because y'all don't understand, man. Like I said, when I say I ain't had no dad, like and it's not even now. I think it's just the leadership. It's the leadership and being able to come back every single week, knowing and then knowing without a shadow of a doubt, if when Wednesday night comes, like early today, I was like, man, well, I was at the Love Dot City with Mr. Joe, and woody woody woo, we got this going on, they got this going on, they got that going on, and I know they got all this stuff going on because I've been there before, but I've been anxiety of the world got me going left, right, north, south, east, west, that I ain't had a chance to even just sit down and lock in, and then he like, hey, I got this going on, and then when I get there, I can just relax and learn that much more, and being around another room of great mentors and leaders that's right here, touchable, tangible, that you can just reach out and call. And I just sit back and told God, man, I don't know what you're doing, but I just thank the fact that you're doing it, and this my season.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I was at today. Today was very phenomenal for me. Uh, I had anxiety this morning, just because I got home. I just got back last night,
Yeah.
and everybody was asking me how you doing. Even Mr. Joe asked me, "Hey Chris, how you doing? How you back?" Because everybody that personally know me, they got a back injury, so they were like, "No matter how good you dress, how your body doing." And simple stuff like that, man. Y'all don't even understand how serious that is to me. Like, man, I can't explain it enough that when see the doctor's job is to ask you how you doing, but sometimes they don't. I don't feel that they really even care all the time. You know what I'm saying? They're just doing their job. Then it's in emotion. Rate your payments done, and is it a 10, 1 through 10? It's a 5 or a 7. But when you got somebody that's looking you dead in your eyes and shaking your hand and just really asking, no, really, how are you doing? How your body doing? Man, that's a major feeling to me. That calms my anxiety down too, man. Just that in a nutshell, being locked in with some mentors and some leaders that can help me in my next step on what I got going on for tomorrow, what I got going on Saturday, all the way to that next Thursday. This is like church, man. Like they say the body is the church and not the temple that we're going in, man. This right here, we having church every Thursday, and I get
You better
excited
say it.
about being
Yeah.
around
That's
Yeah.
it.
the body of God. And then you talking about the pillar, and then my pastor done preached about so many times and got it in my he got it stuck in my head now that the men are the pillars. It's us first.
Mm-hmm.
God is calling us over and over and over. When we gonna get it together, and when we do get it together, guess what? It's a we that is involved.
Yes.
You're not doing this by yourself. We are. He called us individually, but then again, you have a group of men. You got a group of fishermen that's out there anchored and still pulling you on, and then they got your back also, where you can call them. And I done told so many people, man, you guys have no idea. I actually forgot to tell, and I apologize. It was 3 or 4 brothers I was supposed to been sending the Zoom call just tonight after the Love Thy City event. And even one of the candidates, if I may say, who was it? Is it James Wynn or John Wynn? One of the
Yeah.
guys,
One of the
yeah,
politicians.
one of the men that's literally going out for the mayoral campaign.
Yeah. Yeah.
I pulled in with him, and we left around at the same time, and we got to talking about who named. He thought I was a business partner, a business associate of Mr. Brett Berry, because I bought one of his older trucks, right? Not knowing that Mr. Brett Berry must be some phenomenal guy, and that's amazing man, because multiple people have stopped me just in East Texas area, and we had a small conversation on how they went to school together and how great the guy is and his business establishment. And I said, man, it's a blessing to be passed down. Well, him from passed down one of his older model vehicles, and I jump in. So I'm like, I'm blessed and highly favored because I got the extras of what he had. And you see what I'm saying? Just something simple like that. And I
Yeah.
started telling him about the Zoom call with Mr. Joe and you guys. And he was like, man, oh yeah, I would definitely be interested. Send that to me, Christopher. Send that to me. And the anxieties of the world. So I gotta give him this after effect so he can zoom in since it's recorded so he can see how the call was. And so he'll be hopefully ready next Thursday. Just simple like that. And another brother, I met a lady at the mall and she was like, Chris, uh, do you know anybody that's hiring or whatnot? I said, well, I do a lot of extra stuff on the side. I need help with so much. And I was telling the young man, he called me up today about the Zoom call, and I was like, "Would you be interested in jumping on a Zoom call and just listening in to a group of great guys that mentor me on a weekly conversation? You know what I'm saying?"
Yeah.
And the anxieties were kicked in. I didn't get the chance to reach out back to him, and I got his number. He just called me like 2 or 3 hours ago, but man, so busy. I'm like, I'm gonna take a nap so I can chill. I'm gonna take a nap. This is my first day in 3 weeks. I'm gonna take a nap. And then I jump up, David. What time is it? He said, Dad, it's about 8:12. Okay, all right. I'm gonna get up in a little minute. And then I say, you said it say what? That is 8:12. Hey, it's Thursday. Hold on, let me go wash my face. I gotta get on the Zoom call. I said, no, man. And that's why I chimed in late today. The anxieties, man, of the world, literally just not being all the way anchored in, you know what I'm saying? Or a simple thing of forgetting to cut my Thursday my Zoom call alarm on from whenever I'm doing, because I usually have it set for 6:50, ready to go. So just simple things like that, man, and that's just an example. You know, I always give you guys a weekly example what's going on with my everyday life, man.
Yeah.
And my little man right here just always tuning in from the back, and he always be having some questions. Daddy, what y'all be doing? Daddy, I need to you give me a little about 5 more minutes, I promise. 2, 3, 4, 5. David, but yeah, man, simple things, like I said, simple things like that, the anxieties world, not being anchored in and not having some people great like you guys, man, just to lock in and keep you laser focused, which I, like I said, every week and all the time, and I'm so serious about this. I wish and I hope and I pray that everybody that I come across or come account with have mentors like you guys to reach out, because it's been a life changer for me in just a year. And everybody see it. They were like, what is it, Chris? I said, it's God first. I
Yeah.
said, then it's the men that let God use them on this Thursday call. And I guarantee you, if you jump in, I'm just saying something might happen that you might need and grab some takeaways and change your life like it did me. Like just being able to be real and talk and sit down and talk to some brothers about what you got going on.
Yeah.
Not just simple things like that. And they was like, for real, bro. Oh man, that's cool, man. What is about 5-10 minutes? No, we take our time. It's not a time on there. I said we take our time and we chill like brothers chill. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's right.
And I said it's just like it's like sitting up under the tree on that Sunday with that sun coming down, man. That's how we do it. And it's a lot of brothers engaging, man. So it's my fault this Thursday that I didn't even get to reach back to them. I should have been hitting them every time. So now what I'm gonna do? Because I talk about the locker room so much, I'm hold on, let me send you the Zoom right now. Because I done got good when somebody say, hey, Brother Chris, you mind? I got this going on. Or if you ask them how they doing, and now I say, just pray for me. I done learned to pray right then, no matter where we at.
That's right. Yes,
We
sir.
we gonna pray right now. I said, because God is a now God, and if you
Hey.
ask for it now, if I don't, God was testing me, and I failed that quick. So, but yeah, man, that's how my world going right now, brothers, and I'm glad to be able to catch you guys and jump in the Zoom call, and of course, man, just catch those bits and nuggets and learn and grow from it. And I just appreciate you guys for having the call, of course, and allowing me always to have something to say. Even if I say too much or say too little, I appreciate y'all just for that square, that little space of time. Cause man, it means so much to me. Seriously.
Yeah. And, just to say something about that too, Chris, is we enjoy you saying what you need to say because you got things to say. It's like, we was talking earlier today, and I said, I know you travel back and forth. And I asked you, I said, Chris, do you be listening to like music, spiritual thing? And then he said, well, sometimes, Mr. Joe, I just be quiet, silence, depending on where I'm at in the scheme of things. And we need that. We need that. We need moments of silence. And it's true just to, in silence, there's many answers, and you want that. You have a busy schedule.
Yes.
But in all of that, it's a good busy. And sometimes, the enemy will come in and you hear people, I'm busy, busy, busy. Sometimes it can be busy being under Satan's yoke. And that's what we don't want to do. So I say to you all the time, keep being the best version and vision of the outpouring. And that within you that's coming up and out, that awakening to the consciousness of who you are. So keep that going.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So anybody else? Thank you, Chris, for your comment.
How you doing, Brother Joe?
Hey, how you doing, brother?
All right, how everybody doing?
We're going good.
Yeah, I stepped out real quick, say a couple things. I appreciate you, Joe, for coming to the meet Sunday. You and everybody be talking about it. you did, and you did your thing. And I just wanted to let the group know that I have been praying, and I finally got the good news I've been waiting for. That I'll be opening, so I'll be able to get on the calls at night without being at work.
All right.
Yeah. Great, man.
I'll be working mornings now.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Brother Lynch, tell them about your men's locker room just for a minute, okay?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's called Iron Sharpen Iron, and we had about I think about 12, 14 men. And you know, my whole goal is to just get as many men as I can and help them like how y'all help me. You know, I want to get everybody to get close to God because, that's the way. There's no other way to be. It just feels so good to surrender and I want brothers to have their soul saved, you know. And so it's gonna be once a month. Next month we're having it on the 24th, May 24th, and it'll be Sunday at 3 p.m. in Tyler, at 134 Glenwood, Tyler, Texas. And we got a pool table in there. We got the big screen TV in there for like the football seasons come up. We'll have our meetings and then we'll eat, and all the men in the congregation just have a good time.
Awesome.
Yes. It was it was a good time, and it was younger men in there. So and I think I shared with Stephen earlier that a young lady came in here that I know, and she wants to get her boys to come to his meeting. So we're gonna work that out. And again, I go back to the thought: any rooms in which we're promoting and bringing men, the idea of being men and seeing men doing what we do, it's a wonderful thing. I always say there's a new paradigm coming up, and we want to be a part of that. And as Brother Harlan said, we got work to do.
Yeah.
We do. And when we got a we in it, in any streams or any room, we're promoting that. And that's a wonderful thing. So we applaud you, Brother Lynch, for what you're trying to do as well.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Anybody else? We are finishing up the night. Our anxiety is not thinking of the future, but trying to control it. Anybody? I guess nobody else. We've come to that hour, so we will be closing out this session. I'm gonna, Brother Lynch, will you pray us out, sir?
Yes, sir. So I want to thank you for the locker room tonight, Lord. I want to thank you for blessing all us and bless our family, Lord, and bless us on the rest of our week. Lord, I pray that something was said tonight to help a brother, to help everybody. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, sir.
Hey, before you guys go, and like I said, Joe's birthday is Tuesday. I got a surprise for him right now. Joe, here's your surprise.
I like it, brother.
Hey, that's clean.
Happy birthday, Joe.
All right, thank you, sir. You got an ace juice, brother. It's
There
working.
you go.
That's beautiful.
That's all right there.
Well, you
Yes,
clean.
sir.
Hey, I got me two more. I was supposed to go to a function with my wife to this derby. They having this little derby thing. Everybody's supposed to wear matching clothes and a tie, but they canceled it. So I got 3 hats.
That one is nice, me baby boy. All right, that's beautiful, man.
All right, man. Yeah, have a good one, man.
All right.
Y'all take it easy.
Yes,
All
Yeah,
right,
sir.
and
take it
I
easy.
always say peace, riches, and blessings to all my brothers.
All right, man.
Have a good night.
All right.